Welcome back. The world of art includes a diverse field of mediums, from painting to sculpture to fiber arts, and that's without going into the styles and schools of each of those mediums.
That's right, and just like the artists themselves are just as diverse and unique. KCAU-9 News reporter Tyler Euchner shares how two Hispanic artists have similar influences but differ in their messages.
No two artists are alike. Some look inward for inspiration while others draw inspiration from the past.
Inspiration comes from many times from where I live, what I'm doing, and also from where I'm from. So where I'm from, I am indigenous from Mexico, and also I'm from Mexico. And now I am a citizen of the United States. So it's all of this where I am from. I'm from Americas, I guess.
I use collage to express ideas about the legacy that colonialism has left in our present day.
David Manzanares was born and raised in Mexico. He's been a sculptor for 15 years. Manzanares has also been painting murals for the past 6 years. He's the latest muralist to add to Sioux City's growing collection of outdoor masterpieces. Nancy Freeman Sanchez has been an artist for more than 30 years. Born and raised in Colombia, history influences her work in collages. Several of her works are on exhibit at the Sioux City Art Center. While both artists share some Hispanic culture and the experience of immigration to the U.S., their art speaks to different perspectives on the Hispanic experience.
When I do things that depict more of the culture that is part of me, I also want them to feel part of the culture as part of themselves, you know, like the colors in it, because the colors that we have, maybe you also share them with us, you know? Maybe we are all more connected than we think about.
I look at the material culture that has been left throughout this time, and I investigate those formal elements. So, for example, I will look at a painting from the colony.
These artists hope their art speaks to viewers, either sharing a message about society or simply sharing a piece of themselves with the world.
And many of the culture comes from like what I was learning from my grandmother, from my parents, and from the food and so on. So many of the colors I use are colorful because that's how I like to see life, you know. And many I like flavors and things like that. But how do you translate that into colors or into sculptures?
If you have no idea about art, you can go in and understand that there is beauty, that there is a narrative, and that it connects to you in an intuitive way.
Like Nancy Freeman Sanchez and David Manzanares, there are many Hispanic artists in Siouxland, each with a unique perspective to share. For Hispanic Heritage, Tyler Euchner, KCAU-9 News.
And art isn't just for sharing culture and experiences, it can also be used as a learning tool.
Rini Ortiz shares how a Sioux Falls teacher incorporates art into her dual language classroom.
Ilda Esperanza Langley has been a teacher in the Sioux Falls School District for the last 10 years. She teaches second grade Spanish in the immersion program at Sonia Sotomayor.
Most of the time speaking Spanish. In fact, we only speak Spanish. And the kids get accustomed. They have to understand.
Esperanza got her master's degree in Spanish linguistics at the Instituto Caro y Cuervo in Colombia, where she was born. It was there she learned the importance of visual learning when teaching kids. In addition to teaching, she is also an artist. She uses the same methods of visual learning with her artwork.
The brain learns in pictures before words. And they are little kids, they need to make the connection. They make the connection between the Spanish and the English language.
Her work is currently on display at the Washington Pavilion and the East Bank Art Gallery.
Life clings and life is born. This is the visual part of a presentation I did in New York. And I did a presentation on grammar in Spanish, of course. And while we were working on that, the questions for most of the teachers over there was, how do you teach grammar? And how the children acquire the vocabulary. We were telling them that we use mostly the picture because the brain learns in pictures before words. And they are little kids, they need to make the connection. They make the connection between the Spanish and the English language, and they see the word in their brain, and then after they have the word in the brain, the image, they begin to spell the word. So when I began to use these words, then I thought, well, let's put the word to the picture so the kid understands which part is which. I said, well, what can I do here that I can use those things?
Langley says her goal is to create connections to the Spanish language and culture.
Culture is that, bringing a little bit of everything and see that we can fuse everything that we have from our countries without having to impose or taking away from this country.
Elsewhere, a Latin American student group at South Dakota State University has found a new way to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month.
Carter Schmidt takes us to the very first musical event.
The sound of guitars, a trumpet, and violin are bringing a festive feel to campus.
It gives other students a chance to indirectly share their culture, and like for other students who don't know about Hispanic Heritage Month to learn a little bit about it and just listen to Hispanic music if they've never heard it before.
To kick off Hispanic Heritage Month, the mariachi band Mariachi Con Amigos from Sioux Falls performed on the stage in the Student Union over the lunch hour today. Oscar Garcia, Asleti Castillo, and Vanessa Valadez are members of the Latin American Student Association, or LASA. They all have Mexican roots.
Really looking forward to being able to do more things like this and just kind of get our tradition and culture and values out there to everybody, and just really excited to be able to bring that to every student here and share that with everyone.
Valadez is LASA's president.
It's just a great time to be able to show everybody what we partake in every single day with our struggles or just advantages, some of our culture, our history, and a little bit of everything as well.
Castillo, LASA's vice president, say these events happen because of the organization's budget and fundraising.
It would be really nice if any students, teachers, or just community members could come over here and celebrate with us.
The events are open to anybody.
You do not have to be Latino for this. That's the main point. We're trying to showcase our culture to everybody.
And Americans who are Latino or Hispanic are a growing portion of our population.
There's more businesses looking to cater to them as well, and we'll share more as our Hispanic Heritage Special continues. Stay with us.